Welcome back. If you're just joining us, my guest is licensed therapist Stacy Jagger. We've been talking about the effects of extended amounts of electronic stimulation on our children. And before we went to the break, we were talking about your 30-day blackout and how you work with parents and families on this. And I want to kind of go through the checklist, because these are things that during this time period of 30 days that you recommend and ask the parents and the children to do. And the first thing is to create a one-page document.
Stating that all electronics will be turned off for 30 days.
Wow. And then do they have to sign that?
Yeah.
So you're asking the parents and the child to sign.
So I have found that unless the whole family does it together, it doesn't work.
Okay.
It simply will create a resentment in the children if the parents get to have screens and they don't. So I recommend either do it together as a family or don't do it at all.
I think that's a great idea. You have to establish when and this is going to begin and end, right? So you would say...
You just say, we're April 1st.
And then we'll go for 30 days.
That's right.
And then at the end of the 30 days...
So at the end of the 30 days, what I encourage is that screen time is now the dessert of your life rather than the main course. And for young children, I recommend screen time marbles. So you just get a little jar and put 7 marbles in the jar. And each marble equals 30 minutes to an hour of screen time. And they can spend their screen time as they want to throughout the week. If they have great behavior, you might want to add a marble to their jar, or if not, you know, if they're being disobedient, you have the option of taking a marble out.
So you can't go back to the way things were before those 30 days and just think that everything is going to be fine.
If you go back to what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten.
Exactly, exactly. And then you recommend at least 5 minutes of special play time to take place daily between the parents and each child. And this is each child? If you've
That's
got
right.
5,
that's what I recommend. 5 minutes per child of special play time, where you simply don't ask any questions or give any critiques or commands, but you just reflect and imitate their play for 5 minutes.
Okay, I like that. And as you said before, it's a whole family thing. And you say parents should reaffirm their commitment to only working during normal business hours. So they kind of really need to be there.
Yeah, lots of parents will simply just decide from 6:30 at night till 6:30 in the morning is their special time to be present with their children, and they will let their clients know that they're not available for those 12 hours.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then you also recommend nightly check-ins.
Yeah. And lots of unstructured nature-based play is very helpful for families. So just going out for hikes and walks, and many times after the door of boredom, and as we're replacing connection for what used to be entertainment, many children are willing to do things they were not willing to do before, like chop vegetables with mom in the kitchen and play simple board games and go for family walks. And it becomes, you know, just a reconnecting time where you're unplugging from media and plugging in to each other.
What has been the typical response from your families and your clients after they have tried this 30-day? I know the kids think they're going to die, but they usually survive.
Most of the families that I work with are very grateful, and many of them will do it twice.
Wow, because sometimes I guess it
just takes a little longer sometimes to get, you know, what you want, if you really want what you want, which is to get your child back.
If we don't get this sort of issue under control, it's scary to kind of think about what our future of what our kids are going to, what their lives are going to be like in the future, where you can't talk to anybody because you have to text them when they're sitting right next to you.
It's really feeding into anxiety and depression and isolation, and the children that I see that are hurting, the blackout is about half the problem. It solves about half the problem, usually, when I'm working with them.
If people wanted to get in touch with you, Stacy, to find out more about the blackout, or maybe try to get with you for some therapy for their family, what should they do?
They just go to stacyjagger.com.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you.
Nice
All
to meet
very
you.
Interesting statistic and so much information I'm sure most of us have been thinking.
Yeah.
Whether you have children or not, we were seeing this problem sort of it's just getting worse and worse. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Up next, where great futures start, we'll talk about the Boys and Girls Club of Middle Tennessee and their over century-long mission to serve our youth. Stay with us.